At a young age, many can probably say that they remember the music their parents and grandparents listened to. That artist and their songs are probably forever engraved in your mind and always bring back memories to your childhood. When I was young, I can remember my dad listening to George Strait at home and in the car. Now looking back, I see why George Strait is one of the best country music artists ever. George Harvey Strait was born on May 18, 1952. George was born in San Antonio, Texas. He started his career when he was in high school and started a rock and roll band. Country was not his first choice in music as a teenager, but as he got older, country music became his passion. His first introduction to country music was through live performances in Texas. On December 4, 1971, George eloped with the woman of his dreams and high school sweetheart Norma. In 1971, he was also enlisted in the United States Army. A year later, in 1972, Norma and George had their first child, a baby girl, and they named her Jennifer. In 1975, George was discharged from the Army and decided to attend college at Southwest Texas State University in San Marcos, Texas, and he received a degree in agriculture. While George was attending college, he joined a country band called Stony Ridge and then quickly renamed it Ace in the Hole Band, and he became the lead singer. While the band began to grow in popularity in the area, they began to write songs of their own. The songs did not gain any big recognition, and meanwhile, still working on the family cattle ranch, he also remained playing music with his band. He became very good friends with Irv Woolsey, and he convinced Music Row to listen to George and his band. In 1981, MCA signed George quickly after Mr. Woolsey introduced them. His band, Ace in the Hole, remained with him and became backup singers as George began to go on tour. After signing a record deal with MCA in the spring of that year, he released his first record called Unwound, and it climbed the charts into the top 10. During the 1980s, George Strait was the artist that stayed closest to traditional country, and this was something that sparked the interest in the traditional country genre. If you're thinking you want a stranger, climbed to number 3 in 1982, and this led to 31 singles reaching number 1 on the charts. Later in 1992, Pure Country, his first movie, was made, and he was the lead role. The movie became a classic and was very successful to add to his already outstanding music career. In more recent years, George produced Here's for a Good Time and Love's Gonna Make It Alright. They both hit the top 10 charts. George then announced that he was going to retire from touring and came out with one last tour called the Cowboy Rides Away Tour. It started in 2013 and ended in 2014. Just before his last tour, George released the album Love Is Everything in May of 2013, and the single Give It All We Got Tonight reached the top 10 charts. George Strait was and is still today one of the most well-known and successful country music artists. Through hard work and dedication, he made a great career for himself. Anyone who has ever heard of country music has heard of George Strait, and his legacy will forever live on.